We've all heard the saying, do it once and do it right. And that comes true with project cars like this too. But unfortunately, sometimes you give yourself a very, very tight deadline. That can't always be the case. In the case of Project 55, we wanted it done for Mustang Week, so there were a few things we kind of skipped over, saying, oh, they work fine, we'll worry about them later. One was the power window motor, which of course worked perfectly on the car until the very first event I went to and the window wouldn't go up. Well, recently I was enjoying a nice fall day and driving the car around, and the dreaded battery light came on, which means it's time for a new alternator. So today we're going to upgrade to a new alternator from PA Performance. There's going to be a ton of alternator upgrades available for your Foxbody Mustang, anywhere from replacement 2G alternators up to 200 plus amp 3G alternators. In the case of my Foxbody, I don't have a ton of aftermarket electronics, so I don't need anything crazy. Now the stock alternator is going to be a 75 amp unit. I'm going to replace it with this PA Performance 95 amp alternator. Now this is going to actually provide up to 120 amps at high RPM, so across the range it will be about double what the factory alternator gives us. Plus it's a 2G. The nice thing about that, it's a direct replacement. You use a factory plug, factory wiring, factory brackets. Makes for a very, very easy installation. We'll even use the factory serpentine belt. In your typical Foxbody installation, your alternator is going to be located right here on the top of the engine. Now in our case, we have this beautiful Vortec S-Trim supercharger there, so the alternator gets moved down underneath. The installation is still basically the same. You're going to start by taking tension off the belt, then we'll actually go underneath the car, disconnect the wiring from the alternator, and then finally remove the alternator from the car. And since we're obviously messing with the electrical system, first thing you want to do, disconnect the battery. Ours is in the trunk, we already did that. Now we'll take tension off of the tensioner so we can remove the belt. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do here is pop off the plug. Now we can unbolt the bracket. And I said in the intro, this is plug and play. It is mostly plug and play, as this plug will plug right into our new alternator, but we do need to terminate these wires and get rid of this plug. Now we're going to strip these wires. All right, we're going to start by putting some heat shrink tubing over this. Grab the provided crimp-on connector. We're going to crimp that on, and I'll just lay a little solder on there as well. And once you make the connection, melt your heat shrink. Grab the plug here, use the supplied connector and crimp that on. Okay, now we're ready to put our new alternator up in place here. Now grab the supplied bolt, push this up into place. And both the orange and black wires are going to go together on the power stud on the back of the alternator. The little plug will plug in the side, this factory location. All right, now we can make sure the belt is on everything it's supposed to be here. We can put it back on our alternator. With its 95 amp output, my PA Performance alternator is going to be more than enough juice for my 93 Cobra. And like you see, with the 2G alternator, it's a direct swap, some very, very basic wiring, but it's a very easy installation. Even with the Vortec, it's no more than an hour job. With the alternator right on top, it should be even easier, and you'll be back on the road in no time.